In countries around the world, tax money helps fund essential services like schools, hospitals, and roads. Domestic resources are the best way to support long-term economic growth and poverty reduction. Country-owned and more stable than development aid, these resources are the largest and most important source of financing for sustainable development. Many developing countries are successfully mobilizing more domestic resources for sustainable development. But progress varies. Developing countries still collect far less in tax revenues than wealthier countries. Often, governments lack the capacity to raise and collect tax revenues. This means less money for education and healthcare, and fewer resources for investment in essential infrastructure. While estimates vary, there is no question that cross-border tax avoidance negatively affects developing countries. Tax administrations are on the front line in this battle, but tackling these issues requires highly skilled auditors. They can uncover the often complex arrangements that divert taxable income, as well as identify high-risk cases. This reduces the amount of much-needed tax revenue that is lost. Tax Inspectors Without Borders, TIWB, is a joint initiative of the OECD, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, and UNDP, the United Nations Development Program, that supports developing countries to build tax audit capacity. Under TIWB, tax audit experts work alongside local officials to strengthen national capacity to handle tax issues. Piloted recently by the OECD, TIWB is already proving its value.
In a period of 3 years, we've seen our tax revenue grow from about $52 million tax recovered to $107 million last year. I know this year we expect to see substantial growth, and this has been through very focused attention on cases, looking at anonymized cases, discussing and cases where we had a lot of difficulty in figuring out how to resolve, and we had this insight that really kind of shifted, and we've seen this huge revenue growth.
Now, OECD and UNDP have joined forces to take the program to scale. TIWB will work by matching demand for tax auditing assistance with appropriate expertise. The OECD's technical expertise in tax matters will be complemented by UNDP's global presence and access to policymakers at the highest level. Developing countries like Kenya can then share their knowledge and skills with other countries.
We're really excited. In fact, part of our commitment as a country has always been that from what we have received, abundantly received, we are prepared to take this out to the neighboring countries. Already we, like I say, have received a lot of delegations who come in for study tours. What we're looking to do now would be to also share this expertise with other countries. We've had various requests which we now have to agree how to fashion, but we think this is also helpful to also build, to motivate the staff to also get exposed to different country experiences. So to that extent, we are open to such exchanges.
Tax Inspectors Without Borders will support countries to mobilize more of their own resources for development. This means more money for investment in the futures of the world's poor and most vulnerable.
I can't tell you how valuable it is, because at the end of the day, we have transferred the expertise of this international tax expert into the actual local officer who goes and deals specifically with the taxpayer and is confident, knows what to call for, knows what outcomes he should be looking for. And this has been revolutionary. This has really changed the way we do our work.
Working together, we can make this initiative a success.